welcome again. And now to our marine ecosystem segment. On this week's segment, we'll bring you an exclusive interview, the concluding part of that interview actually, that we had with the founder and president of the African Marine Environment and Sustainability Initiative, AFMESI, Dr. Felicia Chinwe Mogo. She tells us more on how best to harness the enormous economic potentials in the marine environment on the African continent.
Still kind of environment. You talked about safety and insecurity, and under the safety and insecurity, you talked about sea robbery. Can you shed more light on sea robbery?
Sea robbery is a situation, just like robbery on land could be. You now have a vessel going on its way, not even planning to be, then you now have attack. You have robbers that are armed. They can hijack this vessel, they can hijack it, and then they don't kill the human beings there, and they can rob them of everything. Just like robbery is a robbery both on land and at sea, So and it makes business people not comfortable visiting such area, and it makes the insurance premium, because just like you have your car insurance, vessels are also insured. So the insurance premium for vessels will now, and everything about them, will now be escalated to be charged. They can be charged to court and punished by law.
So do you think enormous economic potentials of this marine environment?
To an extent, I would say yes, because the African nation, they came up with in the African. I mentioned it earlier on, African Maritime Strategy, and they came up with that. And as I said, they also have the Blue Charter. All those are efforts to really work together on kind of taking advantage of the resources at sea. So, and also African Maritime Strategy. The strategy also presented steps, the group of 4, I think about 5, on how the African nations can really launch into blue economy.
So we all know that the marine pollution is a global environmental problem today. What solutions can you provide to this?
A maritime issue is a global issue, as we've all agreed. So I will want to look at it by considering our own continent, Africa. So Africa, we've come up with so many ECOWAS. There's also ECOWAS strategy for launching into the blue economy, which is the marine, utilizing these resources in the marine environment. And we also connected to other international agenda. We are part of we are implementing the recommendations for Sustainable Development Goal as was put on by the UN in 2017, especially the one on Goal 14, which has to do with life below the sea. We've been so associated with global agenda on maritime affairs, but then there is need, for example, in Africa, for us to bond more and see the continent as one continent, so that there won't be divisions, there won't be bias based, for example, on language or initial colonial masters and things like that. There is huge need. It's now actually, the need is so urgent that the African continent should see itself as one. Marine protection, the ocean is a global thing. It's not about Nigeria. It's not about the neighbors. If we work together, we'll achieve more results. So we will be able to protect this ocean, and then utilize it in a way that and leave the ocean still fit for the purpose. Climate change has been implicated by all these emissions from up and down. We should work together in seeing that our rich mangrove, for example, that has been acting as a carbon sink, is not opened up as a source. That's what is happening now. The rich mangrove that has been protected, kind of sinking this carbon because of the because the floor has mosses and coal that are, so it's now being opened up. So instead of being a carbon sink, it's acting as a source. We should work together and ensure that the coastal communities, there is no capital flight, there is no blue grab. What I mean by blue grab and blue clutching, where the coastal communities are there, the resources that are being tapped from the adjacency is being flown out, and they are there poor. So we have to really engage the coastal communities also.